Welcome back to the Black and Raww podcast. I'm your host, Tinokuda. Turn the right things out there. Now you're going to repeat that. Here's a podcast that's creating the dialogue and the space for black men to be their most authentic selves. Now, let me just finish this set. Yeah. That was a bit of an embarrassing start, wasn't it? Hey, maybe I need to do less brunches and more crunches. Have you guys ever thought about how sports and fitness can develop you as a man? Maybe the skills that you learn from sports sort of helps you understand what being a man is? Well, I hadn't really thought about it as much until I talked to my guest today, Chris Martin. And in this conversation, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got really inspired. You know, fitness for me has been something which I've always struggled with. You know, I've been good at going to do sports and getting my exercise there, but my food and my eating habits are something which I've always struggled with. You know, my mum always tells a story of the types of food that she would eat when she was pregnant with my brother, me and my sister, and you can guess what she ate with me? Chocolate cake. Yeah. So, like you said, you can see. So, I'm not fit and healthy at all, but this episode really made me want to figure out how can I be healthy? What does healthy Tino look like? What does, buff Tino, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm already kind of buff anyway, like the facial features, but like buff like muscles. But what does that look like? You know? And so I really want you guys to gain that same inspiration from Chris Martin, and I really would love for you guys to enjoy this episode and get the same inspiration I did out of it. And me and Chris talk about so many interesting topics on this episode. We talk about him being in D1 college and playing against basketballers like Jordan Clarkson, playing for the Utah Jazz, and how not getting into the NBA was quite a disappointment, and not being able to play overseas was quite a disappointment, and how he was able to change that disappointment and that loss of identity into personal training. And you hear his journey in terms of how he gone through that. But we also discuss about important topics that he discusses on his own podcast, which is, what is it? Less brunches, more crunches? No. Yeah, less brunches, more crunches. So, I got it right. I've said it so many times as well. But, yeah, we talk about the health industry, the myths about the health industry. We talk about the health industry and the black community. We talk about how society isn't really set up to help you make healthier choices. So, we talk about so many interesting things in this episode. I know you guys are going to love it. I don't think I've got anything else to say to y'all. I'm sweating buckets out here, but one time it's warm in England, I'm just embracing it. So here is my conversation with Chris Martin. So Chris, welcome to the Black and Raww podcast. It's really good to have you on.
Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
No, that's all right. So I was really fascinated when I saw your profile and everything that you do in terms of with fitness and your podcast and stuff like that. But I wanted to sort of start just around your college age. You were playing D1 college basketball. And for those that don't know, can you explain what D1 college basketball even is, and what was it like being a part of different programs?
Yeah, man. Division I basketball, that's kind of what made me a man. It definitely built my character, definitely learned responsibility, time management, no excuses. I learned I can push my body to new levels. I learned I learned that life has obstacles. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and life isn't fair. And you still got to get things done when life isn't fair. So you definitely learned a lot in college. I'm definitely thankful for the experience.
Yeah, no, that sounds interesting, actually. And, there's always I always enjoyed sort of sports when I was younger. I played rugby, I play basketball now, I played lacrosse at university. And I see what you mean in terms of it making you a man, because, yeah, you do learn a lot of sort of good sort of skills and social skills. And like you said, time management and making sure that, you can sort of push yourself even further. So yeah, I've always loved sports for some of the things that it teaches you, and it's just fun. It's fun and exercise, isn't it? So you can't complain. Yeah. So now,
I thought you were about to ask the question.
No. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I definitely have fun, man. So basketball was life growing up, and that's pretty much all I knew. And to be able to play on TV, to travel to different states, have teammates from different countries, different races, just very cultured. And I kind of got used to just putting myself in a new environment and adapting. So that's kind of why, I've been in business for 6 years. I'm used to adapting to new situations. I'm used to when something's bad, problem solving skills. Something's good, don't get too high because the bad is coming. That's just a cycle of life. And people don't realize like college sports is directly related to business, right? So, that's kind of what prepared me for it. And I honestly feel like business is the ultimate sport. So like college was just setting me up for that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, that does make sense. Yeah. You said that in terms of it taught you, how to adapt and being in new environments and stuff like that. Was there a game in like, as you were playing college that you particularly remember, or something that happened and you were sort of stunned and you're like, wow, like, were there any sort of experiences like that?
Yeah. I got two just came to mind. So I tell this story all the time. My freshman year, I didn't play a lot because I had seniors in front of me, and we played against Tulsa, which is a D1 school in Oklahoma. We played them in Memphis for the conference semifinals, I believe. And at the time, Jordan Clarkson was on the team, who is
I've heard of Jordan. Yeah. Fair enough.
He's on the Utah Jazz. A lot of people didn't even know he went to Tulsa. He went there before he went to Missouri. But anyway, man, it was a triple overtime game, and I hadn't even played yet. It was I had seniors in front of me, so I hadn't even touched the court. All the seniors fouled out, and I had I always just worked, always got shots up. And as I was running to the table, the assistant coach stopped me. He was like, "Look, I don't give a F what play we call. If you're open, shoot it." Because I was known as a shooter. And man, shouldn't have told me that, bro. So I went to the table, subbed in, and my guy was he kind of was disrespecting me, bro. He wasn't really. I caught the ball and he wasn't really checking me. He gave me too much space, so I shot it. Shot went in. Bench goes crazy, game winner, and my coach actually kind of upset that I didn't run the play that he wanted.
He told you to shoot though.
Oh, that was the assistant coach.
Oh,
that was
the
assistant
coach.
Okay. The head coach was upset, yeah. And so fast forward to my senior year, and it was like I forgot who we were playing when I was at Savannah State, but kind of similar situation. But my coach gave me the ball, and he was like, "Do your thing, like make something happen." And just I had that confidence to hit a game winner. I went in the paint, did a spin move, turn around, fade away. Game winner. And it's just crazy how that confidence as a freshman led to from me being on the bench led to me like the coach being like, "Here, take the ball. I trust you." So those are two games that stuck out. And I'm kind of the same way now, man. I just take a gamble and I just got the confidence that it's going to work out.
Yeah, see if it pays off. Yeah, I guess like as we were saying before, like sports sort of gives you loads of different skills, and you practice. Then, like I imagine, even though you're on the bench, as you were saying, you always got shots up. You're always practicing, like being ready and like sort of staying ready for your moment. And then you took the shot. Game winner. I'm sure the crowd was going crazy. Like you said, the bench was going crazy. I would have just been running around.
Man.
But it sort of prepares you for, like you said, now you're in business and just like, okay, I know I've put in the hours, I know I've put in the work, like I can take this sort of risk and I can be confident that it can sort of pay off because I know I've done things like that before,
Exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, we were mentioning, or you were mentioning in terms of that, you played with people like Jordan Clarkson, who's now on the Utah Jazz. So
he was on the other team. I played against him.
Oh, okay, he's on the other team. But you were playing against people that ended up going into the NBA. So for you, you didn't end up being able to go to the NBA. Could you just tell me sort of a bit about that? And I guess, how did you deal with the disappointment of it?
I mean, I'm an undersized guard, so but in the back of my mind, I knew it's probably not likely I'm going to the NBA, and I at least just wanted to play overseas, just to fulfill my dream of being a professional and kind of finish my career. So I kind of regret, not taking the end of my career a little more serious. Not to say that I was, like bullshitting or anything, but I could have gone harder than what I did, and I'm a hard worker. But if I knew it was going to end, I definitely would have approached it differently. So it was kind of depressing, after college, trying to get agents to get me overseas deals and kind of just like depending on someone else for my future. And that's what kind of led me into business and the depression. I needed something to do. So at the time I was working the front desk after I got out of college. And, I go to a real popular gym in the DC area. So I had old teammates in there, old coaches coming in there. They saw me working the front desk and they, I'm used to being a hooper. They like, what is going on? You're not hooping, you're not playing overseas. So that was pretty embarrassing. Even guys that made the NBA that I, grew up with, playing with or playing against were coming in. And that was very, that was probably, at that moment, that was probably the roughest time of my life. And to deal with the depression, man, I just worked out. And after every workout, I just felt better. I felt accomplished. I felt stronger. I felt more confident. And that led me to be like, all right, what's next? Like, what can I do to get my life better, get my life to that next step? And so it was a blessing in disguise. But yeah, that was rough right there for, a 22-year-old kid. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because as you said, you were playing in college, I'm sure you're doing pretty well. And even though you said you're an undersized guard, we see so many undersized guards now, don't we? But the NBA is like, they're the best of the best, isn't it, in basketball? So I definitely understand. But I really like sort of just you saying that it sort of did rock you back. Like you sort of did go into a depression. Like it was sort of, you lost your confidence and I don't know to say if who you were, but sort of maybe you're just like, okay, I'm not a hooper, so what am I? So I guess you started having to figure that out again. Like you said, you went to the gym, which sort of helped you get your confidence and sort of give you a purpose back. Like how else would you say you sort of maybe redefined who you were when you were 22 and around like 23, 24?
Well, see, that was the thing that not playing overseas forced me to do. It forced me to not identify as a basketball player. It forced me to like lead with what type of person am I? Okay, I'm a hard worker. I'm intelligent. I'm consistent. I'm disciplined. I have morals. I'm an ethical guy. So like I kind of just started looking at other areas. And so when I started to realize those things about myself, that's kind of what pushed me to be like, all right, what's the next thing I'm doing in life? Basketball was a great foundation. It taught me structure. So I knew when I wasn't playing basketball, it probably wouldn't be beneficial for me to just be out here just drinking all the time, smoking, partying all the time. I knew I needed some type of structure. I needed something. So it was easy for me to take, when I was working the front desk, it was easy for me to take the overnight shift, like, because I could be productive. I can study for my personal trainer certification. And when I got the certification, it was easy for me to take the early client because I'm like, yo, I need to be grinding. I need to be working. When you in college, you got mandatory workouts. You got mandatory breakfast check. You got mandatory workouts, mandatory practice. So you were always doing something, always busy. You didn't just have free time. So to get out of school and not have a structure set up for me, and I didn't feel right. So all of that brought me to being, the disciplined guy, the consistent guy, the intelligent guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. I like that. The sort of falling back on some of the values and some of the things which you would have grown up with and would have been instilled to you by your family or by your coaches. So like falling back on those things which are like, yeah, I'm not a basketball player anymore, but that doesn't mean I'm not a hard worker. That doesn't mean this. That doesn't mean that.
Right.
So, yeah, which I like.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing though. Like so many guys I grew up with, and I'm 30 now. They still lead with that, like basketball. Like I used to hoop. I used to do that, and it's like, bro, like we 30. Like, that's not gonna. What else are you about? You know. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah. What do you do now, guys? Like, come on, that was exactly. 10 years ago, isn't it?
Let it go, bro. Let it go. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. So you mentioned that, you know, you're working at the front desk at the gym, and that you were studying to do your personal training. So I guess what made you want to do personal training? What was it about it that sort of, I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Real talk. So, you know, working out every day, the trainers in there saw me. And one of the trainers at the gym, he was like, yo, you need to train, bro. He was like, you already an athlete. You know everybody in the gym. You're a cool dude. He like, you going to crush it. And I kept saying, no, I'm a hooper. I'm about to go overseas. And at the same time, you know, I had my degree. So I was going on job interviews and getting denied for every, I got denied for every job interview I ever went on.
Wow.
And so I'm like, dang, man, I'm 23. I'm living at the crib with mom. Like, she treating me like a little kid. I'm in my own place.
Yeah, I feel you.
And, you know, the guy kept asking me, and I'm like, yo, I'm embarrassed working this front desk. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So he was like, all right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to hit up this guy. He going to give you a discount because I'm sending you. You know, all you got to do is pay $150 for the material and take the test. And training certifications are like $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, them things money. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I paid the $150, study for the test. Still was, you know, going back and forth with training for overseas, trying to get a job. I didn't really study, you know, I didn't take the studying serious. So I failed the test the first time. And then the second time, like, I just had that awakening, like, bro, like, what's up, bro? Like, let this basketball stuff go. Lock in. Like, I've taken tests at good schools. I wrote essays. I've given presentations. Like, bro, you can't study for a certification. Like, come on, man.
Come on, yeah.
Let's go, bro. Like, get it together, bro. So I got it together. I did very well on the test. Got my certification, and you know, that's when I started trying to get clients. And one of the old heads in the gym, he's a trainer. He's like a family friend, and he gave me a client. And I would just post on social media every day. If I knew like a pretty girl or something who I was friends with, I'd bring her and post her on social media. Like one girl I know at the time, she was a cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens. I'd be like, yo, come in. You ain't got to pay me. Just let me post you. Post her. People see her like, oh, she looks good. I want to train with you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and I'm young at the time, so a lot of my friends are still in college or they're playing pro. I'll tell my friends, come in, let me record you. I recorded one of my friends who got drafted. Boom, people see that. So then after all that, you got family members of my old teammates hit me up. You got girlfriends, boyfriends, friend of a friend, and that's kind of how I built my business. I used my network, and I kind of started embracing that I wasn't a hooper no more. Right. So a lot of people can't let it go. Once I let it go and embraced it, and that really became my identity, I went from hooper to trainer. It was up after that.
Yeah, everything changed after that. That was quite a clever way of sort of growing your clientele, especially in, like, I don't know, I guess that was sort of when you said you're 30, 22. Social media, I don't know. I obviously it's got much bigger. Obviously there wasn't TikTok, there was sort of Vine, Instagram was sort of still sort of new. Twitter had always been around, but like even sort of for someone at your age at that time, I think just how you were thinking then, like, is so good, because it was like, okay, let me use this platform. Everyone, if you see a pretty girl on the screen in the gym, everyone's gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, like it was so good at eye-popping candy. So it's like, oh, what does that dude train at? Like, oh, let me go and, you know, message this guy. How can I look like her? And even just using your network, I think that's so valuable. Even hearing that is sort of making me want to make sure that, okay, what's my network? How can I use my network to sort of grow what I'm doing here?
And that kind of came from, like, in college. I mean, that's a whole another story, my college basketball. But you know, I would start, I would sit on the bench, I would play, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I was all over the place in college. And there would be times where, like, you know, my coach would just, like, sit me on the bench for games at a time, but I was just starting, or I just dropped 20 and now I'm not playing the next game. And people don't understand the frustration that comes with, I got to show up to practice every day. I can't have no attitude. I can't be in here cussing people out. I can't just be like, oh, I don't feel like it today. Like, and me having that positive attitude, like, yo, how are you going to enjoy this? So I would do stuff like, to get on the coach's nerves when he was getting on my nerves, I'd be the only one to stay after practice and shoot and get extra shots up. And the guy that he's playing in front of me going to the locker room or going to get treatment, and you see me working hard. So next time you decide not to play me, just know that you got a dog on the bench ready to play. You know what I mean? So I always find a way to enjoy stuff. Or, like, say the coach was just talking crazy to me, telling me I suck, this and that. Anytime I did something, whether I scored, I played defense, I got a rebound, I start talking trash. Or I'd be like, let's go. Like, I would just do stuff to make myself enjoy it. And that way I can be 100%. So when I got out of college and, you know, I don't have any clients yet, I'm like, all right, what can I do to make this process fun? What can I do to enjoy it? I'm not making no money, but let me make this look like I am making money. Let me make this look like I am the top trainer in the gym. So that came from college. So I just take that same mindset and put it in the real world.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. I wanted to ask, in terms of when you were starting, or even now, so what are maybe the difficulties and challenges in running a personal training business?
Man, it's endless, bro. Endless, man.
Maybe top two. Maybe that'll work.
Top two, yeah. One thing is just the negativity from the people in your proximity. You know, you might have family that are against it because, like, people don't view it as a real job. Like, people don't view personal trainers as someone, like, I'm changing someone's life, I'm making someone healthier. They see it as, oh, somebody just come to get a workout, or, like, come lift weights. And they don't understand, like, yo, I have to educate myself. I have to research. I have to be knowledgeable. Like, somebody can get hurt. I can give somebody the wrong information. People can say that I'm a scammer. So a lot of people will say stuff like, when are you going to get a real job? Oh, you're not tired. You don't do anything at work. They say stuff like that. So that's probably, like, that's number one. I mean, I've had so many issues with, you know, I've lost friends over it. Like, you know, people, people assuming I'm flirting with their girl or something, you know. Yeah, like, people, like, or say I'm like, you know, I got to get up early tomorrow, I'm not drinking, and like, why are you not drinking? Then it turns into a debate, and it's like, bro, like, you can't just respect what I got going on. Like, I got to get up early. I can't show up hungover. Like, this is how I make my money. This is how I pay my bills. Like, I take it serious. So just the negative people, and then especially as a new trainer, man, a lot of clients aren't going to take you serious, man. They're going to show up late. They're going to give you your money late. And you really you got to establish some boundaries, and the good clients will respect it. But, you know, starting out, you're going to get shitty clients. It's just, so yeah, I've had, you know, people not show up. You got me showing up to the gym at 5, 6 a.m. and you not going to show up or not say anything? Nothing? Come on, man. Like, but yeah, those are probably the top two. I got so many stories about it. Yeah, no. I mean, even, like, you know, and I love my mom to death, but not to talk bad about my mom. But And I'm not saying this to say something bad about my mom. This is real talk. And it might not be a trainer. It could be another business. You know, you could be a barber or something like that. And, you know, like my mom would be the main one saying, when are you going to get a real job? You know, I want to be able to say to my friends that my son is the executive at this corporate company.
She wants to boast.
Personal trainer. And I'm like, yo, like, are you going to support your son or no? Like, why does that matter what someone else thinks? Who cares? Like, I'm probably doing, and it would be somebody I'm doing better than their kid. And you trying to impress them. And I'm way more accomplished than them. I got with a degree, playing college basketball, my network. And you worried about what they think? And, you know, even till this day, I got to, you know, break it down to my mom. Like, yo, like, you gotta chill. Like, just let things play out. You know, I've come a long way. Just let me keep working hard. I'm a workhorse. Just keep letting it, you know. That was one thing. Then I had a dude kick me out the group chat. He thought I was trying to holler at his girl. And I'm like, bro, like, nobody's trying to talk to your girl, bro. This is business.
Yeah.
This is like, I take my business serious, bro. Like, and dude, he and I approached him about it. He didn't even want to have a conversation about it. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty weak. So you showing that you're not my friend anyway, for real. So I'm cool with that.
But showing your true colors, man. It's a bit insecure, isn't it? Like if there's no indications that someone is flirting with your girl, and if so, like you should probably be secure enough in your relationship and in yourself that your girl's not gonna go off. Like that says something more about him than anyone else really in that situation.
Exactly. And if you feel like the girl is doing you dirty, you shouldn't be with her.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't trust her, either bring it up or leave. You know what I mean? Like, don't make that everyone else's problem.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's quite interesting in terms of some of the challenges, as you said, that people like not taking you seriously or even sort of just starting arguments because you're like, right, I need to go off. Like, I'm not drinking tonight. And that's, I mean, even in the UK where like drinking is such a huge sort of culture thing. I feel like with my friends, it would be fine, but I know there would probably be instances where if people are going out and someone's like, yeah, I'm not drinking tonight, they could just be like, oh, why are you not this? Blah, 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 be peer pressured into it. So it's quite interesting that those are some of the experiences you've had as a personal trainer. I've got a friend called Miles Jones. He's in Birmingham, I'm in Coventry, but he had always been into fitness his whole life, and he's sort of starting, I think he probably should have finished his personal trainer course. I should probably find out. But I see him on Instagram at the gym and sort of promoting himself and going to sort of events and stuff. And it's really cool to see. And I see that guy in the gym, like I see him like on Instagram in the gym all the time. And so it's like, it's not easy, like, because you got to keep yourself fit and then you got to help others stay fit. Like, I've always struggled with my weight and staying fit and more my food, because I've always sort of been active in either playing a sport. But in terms of my eating, and you know, I love sugar. It's a blessing and a curse.
Listen, that's real. I mean, even I struggle with it. Like, you know, when I was in college, I can get away with eating certain things that I probably won't even touch now. Maybe once or twice a year, you know, just, you know, if I'm on vacation or just birthday, having fun. But yeah, man, when you grow up an athlete and you eat whatever you want, it's a struggle. And people think like I can eat whatever I want and look the way I want to look. And it's not true. It is not true. And people, they always say genetics, because my mom is fit too. But my mom was once overweight. And then if you go and look at all my aunts, uncles, cousins, they're all overweight. So it runs in my family too. It's just that I'm taking the preventative measures. And it's kind of like when you get fit, you don't get credit for that. And it's tough. It's hard. That's why sometimes you need to hire a coach. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. And I exactly. I don't think personal training, like, it's obviously you maybe don't have, in terms of you're working for yourself, you don't maybe have the stress of a boss telling you to do something, but there are so many other stresses with owning your own business, and, you know, working, and sort of, I guess for you it's a bit different because you are also the business. Like, if you stop, like, the business stops. It's not like you've got other people working for you. Like, so you've got to make sure that you're doing everything and keeping yourself fit and coaching people to help them lose weight. And because it's hard, especially when there's so many things that you go into the shop and the chocolates are at the front, and or something sweet you see in the bakery is just there, and there's all the smells. I think our society, it's everywhere. Our society is definitely built, it's not built to help people get healthier, to be honest with you. But it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. And like you said, society's not built for that. And the moment you speak against it, people are like, man, I don't know if you got a chance to check out my podcast, but my DMs are flooded with hate and calling me names and all types of stuff. But I'm really just telling the truth. I got away with my words with making jokes and so it triggers people. But like you said, man, it's not built. You got to go against the grain if you want to be fit, and if you want to be fit long term. So it can happen. We got access to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's hundreds, thousands of transformations. So if they can do it, you can do it. Whatever's holding you back, whether it's work, family, depression, somebody got through that phase, and you can too. So.
Yeah, definitely. There's, like I said, there's so many resources that you can use. I feel like it's sort of quite like a great time to be living in. Obviously, it has its drawbacks, but in terms of the fact that if you need to find out something, if you want to know what are the best foods to eat, if you want to know what does this routine, how can this routine help me, and there's so much information and access out there now. That's sort of just about finding it and implementing it and staying consistent. I think consistency is the thing that sort of gets me, to be honest with you.
It's easy to be inconsistent, man. You go out, restaurants everywhere. Somebody always got a birthday. Somebody always has an event. So it's easy to get off track, but you really gotta lock in. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I try to put out so much content. So it's always popping up on your timeline, always popping up on your YouTube, me talking about fitness, eating healthy, getting your mindset right, all that.
Yeah. So what would you say are like some of the myths like existing within the fitness industry?
Oh boy. Oh my God. We talk about this all day, man. So you got waist trainers. And if that's, people use those with the hopes that it's gonna make their waistline smaller. And the truth is, man, you gotta be in a caloric deficit. You gotta eat healthy. You need to exercise, and there's a way to do it. Strength training, cardio. I'm not gonna give you a lesson on it, but that's one myth. Another myth: the girls using BBLs and lipo as a solution to weight loss. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Initially you're going to love the results, but hey, we got organs, we got lungs, we got blood flow, we got heart stuff. The BBL and the surgery is not going to help your insides. It's going to make you look good on the outside, but still got to take care of, what's on the inside. And if you get the BBL, you like how you look, you got dudes in your DM, you getting likes on Instagram, you're more than likely not going to change your lifestyle. You're not going to change your eating habits, right? So that's why I tell girls, if you absolutely have to get it, get in the gym first, get your nutrition right first. And then not to even mention, it's probably the most dangerous surgery that women are dying from. It's not talked about. But so that's another myth. A lot of supplements are myths. You don't need supplements to lose weight. Do they help? Yes, if you use them correctly, in addition to exercise and a healthy diet. But you don't absolutely need supplements. You can get protein from food.
Yeah. What supplements are you talking about? Like, would you say like vitamin supplements or something different, like iron and like what do you mean by supplements? There's quite a bit, isn't there?
Like vitamin supplements are fine, but you can get vitamin supplements from certain foods. Like those vitamins are in foods, but you can get vitamins. I wasn't referring to those. I was referring more to like you don't have to have protein powder. Yeah, does it help? Yes, you don't need it. Still got to eat right. You don't need a fat burner. You don't need pre-workout. You don't, like they have these green powders where they're supposed to be a substitute for vegetables. Absolutely don't need that. You can just eat regular vegetables and regular fruit. There's all types of stuff. I don't want to name drop, but there are, I can explain it. There are companies who they might have a product they're trying to push, and they use that to say this will help you lose weight. You don't need that product. You'll be using a product, but eating correctly and exercising in addition to the product. So it's like if you just ate right and exercise, you'll still lose weight. You don't need that product. So that's a scam. But there are $1 million companies that are worldwide that get people with that, and it's like you don't absolutely need that.
Yeah. I mean, corporations will do what they what they want to sell you stuff, won't they? Even if it's harmful, or even if you don't need it. It's like, you need this. I never thought I did, but now I do. Nah.
Exactly.
So but, yeah.
It's all,
go on.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
It's endless, man. It's all types of stuff out there. You don't need it. Fat burning pills. I think I said fat burners, but you don't need any of that stuff.
Well, there's this whole craze with the diabetes thing that all the celebrities are taking, isn't it? It's like,
I just did an episode on that. You still have to eat correctly and exercise when you're on the Ozempic, and it's like it's pretty much everything. They say you have to change your lifestyle. I just don't understand the point. Maybe people want faster results, which makes sense. We live in an instant gratification society, but the side effects that come with Ozempic, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I did a podcast on it a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember the side effects, but a lot of these things, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was like a cardiovascular issue, but there's some type of internal issue. There's a whole bunch of internal issues that come with using that Ozempic. It's not worth it. You're better off just getting the slower results, more gradual process, and then that way you can keep it off for longer. Because the moment you get off of something like Ozempic and all of these other crazy medicines and pills, the moment you stop, you're gonna go right back to being exactly. It doesn't even make sense. But like I said, it's instant gratification society. People want to post on the Instagram right now, show off a TikTok looking slimmer. So it's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And you tell the truth, people don't like it.
True. And it's sad because like we all, like I think in society, like on social medias, like if you're losing weight, you're sort of you're praised. It's like, I mean, it's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. It's like, oh, you look much better. You this, you that. And there's always sort of association with someone that is skinny as like, oh, you're really beautiful. This, like, there's always sort of a positive for losing weight, which is great. But I think it sort of validates the wrong things. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, oh, now look how great you look. It's like, oh, so now I have to keep this no matter what. Like, because I'm getting all this praise. I'm getting all this validation that I never had before. And I don't know how we circumvent that. Because I understand both. Like whenever I lose weight and someone tells me, oh, you've lost weight, I feel great. I'm like, yeah, of course. Oh, thank you. Like you get noticed. Yeah. So I don't know how we deal with that though. I don't know what the solution is to that or how you get around it.
Yeah. A lot of people, I preach this a lot, it's kind of like our bodies were made to move. So you got to realize that. And then you got to realize what do you want in the long term? Like, you want to see your grandkids? What do you want to be like when you're older? Do you want to, you see an old person struggling up the steps? I know for myself, I don't want that. And then with, my grandparents specifically, I didn't really have a relationship with all of them. They died early to health issues, either before I was born or when I was, shortly after I was born. So that's kind of like, all right, I want to see my grandkids one day. So that's kind of, you got to have like a bigger picture of it. And it can't just be, I want to look good for this trip. I want to look good for this birthday. And that kind of helps.
Yeah. So having a bigger vision, a bigger goal sort of gets you to that. Yeah. I think health is always something in my family that everyone has sort of struggled with. I think my dad has probably done the best at it because like when he came to England, he like in Zimbabwe, like his mum never used to give him chocolates and sweets and stuff like that. So then imagine he comes to England for the first time, it's like, oh my gosh, what? Where's all these chocolates, all these sweets everywhere? So he had gained quite a bit of weight, but then now he's become a lot more healthier. He goes on a lot of runs. He likes to run. and he likes to go to the gym, and yeah, so he's probably, I think, done the best with it. But yeah, having a bigger vision of your goal. I think my mom has said she wants to see my grandchildren. So I think for her, that's her goal as well. Even though she keeps saying when you're gonna get married and when you're gonna settle down, because she wants to see him.
I told you about my mom. My mom do the same thing, bro. The same thing.
So so you have a podcast called Less Brunches, More Crunches, which I really like the name of as well. And so you talk about sort of the Black community quite a bit on your podcast. So I want to know, what do you see within the Black community around fitness and in health?
Fitness and health is damn near non-existent in the Black community, man. It's sad. Let me take that back. It's not non-existent. It's very small. We do have content creators like myself that are advocates, but like I said, it's very small. We need more people to push it, and I feel like it's growing. I feel like it is growing. We need more people like myself calling out the scams and really speaking on the health issues that can happen to people in the future. And a lot of this body positivity stuff comes from the Black community. And it's marketed to the Black community, which is unfortunate. You see it in all types of stuff. You see it in commercials. You might see a Black woman on the cover of like a Nike ad for plus size women, and that's great for Nike because they're gonna get money.
Yeah, get sales.
Exactly, from a different customer base. But what does that do for our people? You got men and women, they might be walking around at 40 or 50% body fat, and you're 25, 30, 35, and it only gets harder to get in shape as you get older. And it's harder to change that mindset as you get older. And that's part of the reason I do what I do. I have, obviously, I grew up in a Black area. Most of my family's Black. Most of my friends are Black. So a lot of the stuff that pops up on my timeline is Black people. And that's fitness related. So when a lot of the stuff I react to is Black women, Black men, and people get so upset with me, like I'm trying to tear down a community when I'm highlighting issues. So we also got to stop being sensitive. Like, so if somebody sees me reacting to an obese Black woman, they'll just get triggered by the fact that I'm reacting to an obese Black woman. I'm not calling her fat. I'm not calling her bad names. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm pointing out the issue. Like, for instance, I reacted about 3 weeks ago. There's a restaurant in Las Vegas called Heart Attack Grill. Yeah. Right? It's called Heart Attack Grill. So they serving some...
I kind of want to go there. But it sounds it.
So look what I'm trying to get at. Look, this is what I'm trying to get at. Yo, I'm cool with you enjoying yourself. I'll enjoy a meal myself. But the thing about the restaurant was if you're over 350 pounds, you eat for free.
What?
Yes.
What?
So you got all these women, mostly obese Black women, getting on the scale, weighing in at 360, 370, 400, and celebrating because they get free food.
That's
exactly.
Crazy.
I got some of the craziest DMs because I reacted to that. And I'm not telling people not to go enjoy yourselves. Like, go enjoy yourself. But I think 350, 400 pounds, and these women are probably 35 and up. It's going to be hard to reverse that. So I'm trying to get the younger generation to, prevent them from getting to that place. Because a lot of them are done. They're far gone. It's a lost cause. I can't help them. I can try, but a lot of them ain't going to listen. So, yeah.
That's absolutely bonkers. I've never heard of, and the fact that they call it Heart Attack Shack as well, that just makes it. Oh, that's no. I don't. You know what? I just.
No, I was gonna say my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It paused anyway. So go on.
Okay, but at the same time, you'll have people in my DM telling me that people have health issues, they can't lose weight because of the thyroid and this and that. And I'm like, I'm not asking people to be in my type of shape. Everyone's not going to do that. But if you can't look at what you're eating and contribute that to your weight, that's a mental problem. 2 + 2 is 4, you know. But you can't even tell people that nowadays. But go ahead, say what you're going to say. I apologize.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's just bonkers that is, to be honest. Like, I've never heard of that before, and the fact that they're saying, yeah, you get free food if you. It's incentivizing you to stay at that weight because you probably like it. Probably the food is pretty good, and if you're getting it for free, like, who doesn't love free food? Everybody loves free food, no matter what weight you'd be at anyway. So, of course you're gonna go. Of course you're gonna stay off. Like, if you also don't see it as a problem, like, mate, if I was 300 pounds and I was there, I'd be like, I'd probably be going. If I didn't think there was any problem with the weight I was at, I'd go. Yep. And that they know that's borderline criminal, to be honest with you, to a certain extent. Like, you're sort of feeding the epidemic of obesity and it's commercialized. Hey, capitalism. I won't even get into it.
No, it is capitalism, but if all you hear is embrace your body, you're beautiful the way you are, you know, and I might be going, you know, left with this, but I'm sorry. A man should love you how you are. Any man who doesn't love you like that is a bad man. When you hear stuff like that, of course you're going to stay the same way. It's inevitable.
Yeah, I think there is a world for and a space for body positivity, but I think it maybe shouldn't overcloud sort of the health needs that are there. I think people should be able to be, okay, I can be comfortable with my body, but at the same time realize that I need to change my body. Like, for me, there's times where I will sort of look at myself and I'm like, I really hate my body right now. Like, I'm not where I want to be. I want to be healthier. I want to have some muscles. I have a bit of muscles, but under the layers of fat. But there's times where I look at myself and I'm like, okay, I need to change. I'm very aware of what I need to do. It's just doing it and staying at it and making plans to do it. So I think also that's where a personal trainer comes in so helpful, because there's someone with that knowledge that's seen thousands of people and helped them lose weight and is, okay, this food is good for you, this food is not good for you. And so there's a lot of ways to be able to get fitter and to lose weight and to keep it off. But, you know, nothing good in life comes easy. You know, I remember I was listening to some advice, and they were like, don't stress yourself out like too much. Like, if you've been working out for a year consistently and you maybe haven't lost as much as you have, because I think they said, like, how long did it take you to gain that weight? Like, it's not gonna take sort of shorter to lose that weight. So that's something which always, it's sort of stuck with me. It's like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm being consistent, but also not beating myself up if I'm not seeing the results I'm doing, if I'm still being consistent, if I'm still actually doing the work. If I'm doing the work and I'm not seeing the results straight away, it's okay, because I'm still doing the work. That's when you're not doing the work, then you can't, can't be like, where are my results?
Yeah, you can't do that, man. You know, I get on my clients all the time because it's like, if you're not doing what I'm asking you to do, don't expect to see results. And the trainer always gets the blame for it, unfortunately. But they never blame themselves, and it has to do with self accountability. It's like it's a lost art in our society. Nobody wants to be accountable, and that goes for dating, that goes for business, that goes for finances. And it damn sure goes for your health and fitness. So
it goes for politics too, when you kind of need people to be self-accountable.
Politics as well. And accountability will fix a lot of issues in our world if people, if that was pushed.
Yeah, definitely. So I'd love to know also, just you already told me, but I want other people to know, like, how did you come up with the name for your podcast?
Yeah, so DC is a big brunch city, like probably one of the biggest in our country. So I went to Soul Cycle one day, and across the street was a brunch place. So me and my homegirl, we went to the brunch spot after Soul Cycle, And it was random, bro. I just wrote it on my page, like less brunches, more crunches, because I put the Soul Cycle and I put the plate of my food. And it was totally random. And people were like blowing my DM up like, yo, that sounds hot. Like, what is that? Like, somebody said you should put it on a shirt. So I put it on a shirt, wore it to the gym one day, and everybody was like, what is that? Like, is that yours? And people are like, yo, if you get shirts, I'll buy it. So I started off with 20 shirts and sold out. And so it's been that ever since. So you see, got the cup, shirt. So,
nice. Yeah, I was about to say, for those on YouTube, they can see. For those listening,
if you on YouTube, yeah.
Go on to YouTube if you're listening.
I got I pretty much got a whole store in my house, and then I'm gonna start selling at the gym where I train sometime soon. Just working on a couple things, but yeah, man, just excited to see the and I could do so many things with it. I got so many ideas, and could kind of led me to the podcast because. Like, I mean, there's so many guys posting workout content. And I mean, I'm not, I'm not one of the viral guys. When I post workout content, people like it, people react to it. But it's kind of boring, to be honest. Like, people don't want to see, some people don't want to see you with your shirt off all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not really into all that. So I was like, I'm going to just start dropping knowledge and, just speaking real, because people need to hear the message that I preach. And so I threw the name on the podcast, and people love it. Some people hate it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I like it. Forget those that don't like it. They're just haters. So in terms of fitness within the Black community, what do you think is sort of most important for, like, if you're speaking to Black people right now, like, what is the thing you want them to hear about the importance of staying fit or trying to get fit?
So one thing about the Black community, at least in our country, I don't know how it is in England or United Kingdom. I'm not sure what to call it.
It's all right. Either one works.
Well, over here, we're the unhealthiest demographic, right? And we have to look at the things that we celebrate, right? I just watched a video before we got on here of someone praising a woman with her butt hanging out of her shorts, just cellulite. I mean, she was huge. And I'm not trying to be mean, but one, we got to stop celebrating that. And then anytime, and this isn't even just a Black thing, this is a human thing. Anytime we get together, we don't necessarily have to celebrate with, drugs, alcohol, bad food. Let's get together. Let's have some get-togethers at the gym. Let's have a workout group. Let's go to a workout class, and then let's go eat something healthy after. So a lot of the traditional things that we're used to would need to change if we want to have some change in the Black community. And like I said, there's more Black people speaking up on the issues and how important health and fitness is. But we got to stop shaming those who do. It's like in the Black community, we shame people who speak up for positive things. Like, even I did a post on, I guess it is fitness related, but it's not health related. A girl had her butt cheeks out doing squats in the gym. I'm talking like the shorts were probably like this long. And you could see her.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. And believe it or not, there were women coming on my page calling me the R word, misogynist. And I was just basically saying, like, yo, you can at least have some modesty in the gym. Like, that's ridiculous. And but it's like a sin to preach, the things that we need in our community. And that's gonna have to change as well.
Yeah. The funny thing is, when you said that, I was literally thinking of all those TikToks where girls catch guys looking at them and then give them a hard time. And then it's like, I mean, if you see that, like, everyone's eyes are going to be turned. Like, even the women, like,
Women. Yeah, even women. Exactly. Exactly. And what's crazy is, so That post I just talked about, that like it went viral on TikTok. It got like 800,000 views. Most of the comments were women saying, "Hey, we agree. Like, we don't want to see that in the gym." And a lot of them were Black women. But yeah, it's just we got a lot of issues in our community. It's crazy how the same issues over here in the Black community are issues over there too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, like I think there is a lot of similarities more than differences as well. And I don't know whether that's sort of got to do with the displacement of Africans across the world. You know what I mean? I feel like when I gave not the analogy, when I talked about my dad, you know, in Zimbabwe, they would have eaten whole grain food. They would have eaten like a lot of food that was cooked, prepared, freshly grown. But then you come to England, a lot of it is processed foods, quick sugar highs. Like, so I think there is a lot of, I think it's got to do with sort of where we've ended up landing in different spots, because the people in Africa, they don't have an obese problem. Like, you know, it's the lifestyle as well that's built around there. You're in the sun, you maybe walk a lot more, you do a lot of things outside. So I think we definitely got to try and maybe recapture some of what our ancestors were doing and what Africans are doing back in Africa. And somehow bring them over here. But like even you saying like do a meetup in the gym. We all love meetups. We all love barbecues. We all love chilling with everybody. So why can't we try and grab that same energy for going for a walk all together? Like let's do a big country walk or something. Let's go to a gym together. Like whenever me and my cousin go for a lot of country walks, like we've got national trusts here. I remember the first time I took him, I was like, you're not going to see any Black people here. Like, I was like, just watch. And he was like, I never saw any Black person. Only time you see a Black person when they're married to a white woman. And I was like, it's so sad that there's not more Black people coming and doing these things, because this is such good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. It's gorgeous to just have a look at and have a stroll. And it's like, these are things that we could be doing that could sort of help with, you know, staying fit and being healthier physically and mentally.
There's also a lack of education about, like, you know, that working out is healthy for you and eating healthy foods is healthy for you.
Who would have thought?
No, it's crazy. A girl came in the gym the other day. She got her membership. She was looking for a trainer to help her. And she was like, if I work out, I can eat whatever I want, right? And I was like, not if you want results. Like, I was like, you're probably going to have to change your eating. And she couldn't fathom that thought. Like, she just could not get it. She was in disbelief. And so lack of education is real. And I don't know what needs to be done, but we need like healthier restaurants in Black neighborhoods. Like, there isn't one like salad spot in my neighborhood. I mean, I can get, you know, healthier choices, but there isn't a lot of choice. So a lot of people, they grow up just seeing Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes. They grow up seeing that. And what's crazy is I had a girl yesterday actually, and she was basically saying like the food in America isn't healthy, which there's some truth to that. You know, a lot of the fruits and the poultry, a lot of that stuff isn't healthy. But I said, listen, that's not an excuse for you to go out and just eat whatever you want. That don't mean you just go get some bullshit food. You know, like even eating the quote unquote bad food in America, the healthier foods, you can still lose weight. There's enough people in this country losing weight and making stuff happen. You know, so that happened. Then I had another girl. She had ordered some meal preps, had some hair on her food, so she threw all the meal preps out and went to Popeyes. I was like, you got to be like, what is going on? Like, I'm like, yo, not only is Popeyes bad for you, they probably back there sweating. They could be touching the money, touching the food, dropping the food.
It's probably worse.
And I'm like, that was stupid. And it's just crazy, man. It's crazy how this just the mindset towards health and fitness is literally non-existent, like I said a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I honestly, I hear you when you say in terms of society is built in like there's not sort of healthy options. I remember, I think I was in McDonald's. I recently went to Hawaii, and you could upgrade a salad for like £3-4, and I was like, why is the upgrade for a salad more money? Like it's it's sort of like that's backwards. It should be that you make, I don't know, there should be a tax on chips and more. You get a salad, maybe you get 25% off your food. Maybe that's a way in which we can sort of just get those healthier options in. But that, doesn't make money, does it? It's not what. But it's the initiatives that we need to change the thinking.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's crazy. Upgrade for pay more money for an upgrade on a salad. That's wild.
So I wanted to sort of just ask you this final question, and I've loved the whole conversation that we've had. And say if there's a young Black boy listening to this conversation, and I also want to tailor it for health, how can you help them with an understanding of staying fit and sort of healthy eating?
I got, a couple reasons. One, there's room for Black men in this space. So don't ever think there's like an oversaturation of the market. Like, no, like if you're passionate about it, put your content out there, put your message out there, because we need it more in the Black community. And if you're young, we especially need it, because obesity rate is only going up. We're only getting unhealthier. So we need more voices. Another thing for a young Black boy, you don't have to be a rapper or an athlete to be successful. You can be successful in this lane. I'm still climbing the ladder myself, but I've been able to train celebrities. I've been able to meet celebrities. I've been able to expand my network. I lived in LA for 2 years. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I've been able to do all types of stuff and with in this fitness space. And like I said, I'm still climbing the ladder, but yeah, man, just don't be afraid. Don't let anybody discourage you, especially, coming from our community. You're going to be discouraged by whether it's family or friends. And don't listen to that. You can listen to my podcast, because I talk about the personal training business as well and growing in it, along with all the issues in the world. But you got a lot of Black content creators out there that are helping push positive messages out. So, focus on them. A lot of the stuff around you is not what you need to hear. It's wrong. And if God gave you a vision, not to get religious, I don't know, where you are with religion, but if God gives you a vision, that's because it can happen. I truly believe that. And I've had visions and made it happen, and I have bigger visions, and I'm going to make them happen too. So, man, hop into space and don't be scared to.
Brilliant. No, thank you. Yeah, I think that's amazing. And is there anything you'd like to plug before you leave? We've already talked about your podcast, Less Brunches, More Crunches. I'm going to put that into the show notes, so no one's got no excuses not to find it. And I also want to go and have a few listen. Any episode you recommend having a listen to, actually?
Man, I got so many episodes. Honestly, man, I think I off the top of my head is hard, but I just did one on I'll look at what it's called real quick. Sorry, man.
No, it's good. I put you on the spot. I hadn't thought of this question before.
I just posted one last night. It's a good mix. So the Stairmaster is only for women, and can your trainer pull up to your house? So that's a good one with me talking about basically I talk about both genders. I talk about men and women. I talked about a trainer coming to the house and seeing your fridge. A trainer like randomly pulled up to the client's house. And then there was one where a girl tried to fist bump a guy in the gym after she declined him on a date. And I was like, guys, like, don't be salty. And women, y'all got to realize that if you curve a dude, he doesn't have to be your friend. Like, he's not asking you out to be your friend. So
yeah, I wouldn't want to save him after that though. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd maybe just do it just out of like, oh, here you go. But like, I won't be happy about it. I'd be like, what are we even doing? Like, just, you rejected me. Listen, we did it. There's no reason for you to be coming up to me like, yo, let's say, no, sorry. Maybe 13, 14-year-old me would have done it in a simple way. But now I'm just like, nah, I can't be dealing with that, bro.
But yeah, it's C Marty Fit on YouTube, CMARTY Fit. If you type it in YouTube, you're gonna see a whole bunch of episodes pop up. Same thing, C Marty Fit on Instagram and C Marty Fit on TikTok.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll give him a follow as well. So no, thank you, Chris, for coming on to the podcast. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Hey, appreciate you having me, man. Hope you have a great day too.
Bless. So that is the end of the episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this episode with Chris Martin. Like I said, I got some real great inspiration out of it, and I really hope that you did too. If you want to find out more about Chris, if you want to go onto his podcast, or if you want to check out his YouTube, I'm going to put those all into the comment section so you guys can go and check that out. Please go and show him some love. I would really appreciate it. I think what he's doing in raising the health awareness for the black community is essential, you know. Like Black and Raww, we focus on black men and developing y'all, but he's also helping just the black community stay fit and stay healthy. So, you know, our missions are very aligned, to be honest with you. And so, like I said, it gave me inspiration to figure out what my next fitness journey is going to be. And maybe I'll share that on YouTube with y'all as I'm going through it, and we'll see. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. But before we end, I probably should finish off this set, right? What was I on? 3? Yeah, 3? Okay. 4. 6. 7. 8. Oh. 9. Oh, it's getting harder now. 10. Oh. Fudge. Hold on. One more. There we go. Peace out, guys.